Dennis Browning is a retired Saginaw police officer, having served the city of Saginaw for 32 years. He graduated from Douglas MacArthur High School in Saginaw Charter Township and has been a city resident for over 45 years. Mr. Browning attended Delta College before becoming a police cadet in 1969. In 1970, he was promoted to patrolman and served in both the patrol and investigation divisions during his career. Specializing in crime prevention and community relations, Mr. Browning worked in the schools as a resource officer, served as DARE coordinator and instructor, and filled the role of Crime Stoppers coordinator for the Mid-Michigan region. Officer Browning received many police and community awards during his service. Mr. Browning was appointed to City Council in 2000, serving 13 years, and was elected by the City Council in 2013 and 2016 as mayor of the city of Saginaw. Mayor Browning currently serves on the 9/11 Board of Directors, MBS Board of Directors, Saginaw Future Inc. Board of Directors, STARS Board of Directors, and Urban Corps of Mayors. His community involvement also includes serving as past president of the Saginaw Can Council, former chairman of the Peace Lutheran Day School, past director and current chairman of the Supervisory Committee for the Board of Family First Credit Union, and as a volunteer instructor for the American Red Cross. Please welcome Mayor Dennis Browning.
Well, thank you, Paul and Kevin, and the Chemical Bank for such a wonderful introduction there. This new technology for us old guys are starting to catch up here. So anyways, good morning to all of you attending the 2017 State of the City, State of the County Address. I would also like to take this opportunity to thank the Saginaw County Chamber of Commerce and all of the gracious sponsors for today's event. As members of the Chamber, each of you are involved in business, and so it is with the City of Saginaw. Our business is providing services and increase economic development for our city to prosper. Stakeholders can have confidence in the leadership of their government. This year, I will talk about city operations, management, leadership, and finances. I will talk about some exciting events that have occurred over the past year, new projects planned, economic development, our businesses and key stakeholders, and some of the collaboration, partnership, alliances, and teamwork that have contributed to the growth and investment in Saginaw this past year. But before I start that, it is my pleasure to be here today and introduce my high school sweetheart and my wife of 47 years. My wife Sue is here. I'd like to have her stand. And my two daughters, Amy Zastro and Sarah Culbertson. Would you stand, please? Thank you. Also, I'd like to recognize my fellow council members. So if you would please stand as I call your name. Mayor Pro Tem Floyd Clark, Councilman Michael Balls, Councilwoman Annie Bench, Councilwoman Brenda Moore, and Councilman Damon Tibbs. And please welcome our newly elected city council members attending today for the first time on behalf of the city. Councilman Clint Bryant, Councilman John Humphreys, and Councilman John Milne. Please give them a hand. This past year, Saginaw City Council and the greater Saginaw community experienced the loss of Councilman Larry Caloris. At the young age of 91, Larry had many passions, but two that stand out were his passion for business as the owner and operator of downtown's Larry's Lounge for over 45 years, and second was his passion for hockey. The Saginaw's Canadian-born resident was instrumental in bringing the Ontario Hockey League to Saginaw. We will miss Larry, and I would like to acknowledge his family that is here in attendance today. Would you please stand? Give them a hand. Nice. Thank you very much. I would like to introduce our city manager, Mr. Tim Morales. Tim, would you stand? The city manager and his leadership team have great news to share today. I would ask that all our department heads and staff please stand. Thank you. The past year in Saginaw has been a busy one, filled with a lot of activity, growth, development, and some good times. Saginaw is fortunate to have so many in the community who donate, volunteer, and support the arts, culture, and recreation. There are just too many to mention by name, so please don't be offended if I cannot share contributions of all. But let me start with the Japanese Cultural Center and this past summer's celebration of the 55th anniversary of our sister city relationship with Tokushima, Japan. It was a real pleasure to have welcomed our sister city delegation from Tokushima and to share the city of Saginaw and the Great Lakes Bay region with these honored guests. I would like to also acknowledge a very special person in the city of Saginaw. I'd like to have Yoko Ito Mosier please stand. Yoko is our Yoko is the executive director of the Japanese Cultural Center. Yoko has been given the prestigious and the great honor of the Order of the Rising Sun Silver Rays from the Emperor of Japan for her outstanding contributions to U.S. and Japan relations. Thank you, Yoko, and congratulations on that outstanding award. There are so many boards, committees, and commissions that assist with projects to enhance quality of life and the arts, culture, and the riverfront. And I wish I could name all of them. Now, one of my favorites was the Art and About sculptures enjoyed by so many in 2016. As you can see, I enjoyed finding each and every one of them. Would all those who had a role in bringing the sculptures to Saginaw, would you please stand so we can acknowledge you? All those that and I know there was business sponsors. If you sponsored one, don't make me call you out by name because that'll be embarrassing you didn't stand. So we just couldn't do it without all those sponsors. Please allow me to mention some of the new events that enhance those that are held annually throughout the year. Many attended the Hamilton Street Bash. The cyclists flooded the city streets with counter crews as Saginaw joined the slow roll bike ride movement. We saw expansion of the Friends of Hoyt Park and positive results downtown outhouse races in Hoyt Park, as well as further utilization of the great outdoor venue downtown, the First Merit Event Park. All of these new and expanding events added to the rich arts and recreation available in the city. I am pleased to inform you that the city was successful in obtaining a Michigan Natural Resource Trust Fund grant from the Department of Natural Resources for improvements to Ojibwe Island in the amount of $245,000 for park enhancements. Total investment to the island will exceed $300,000. There are many partners and groups contributing to the enhancement of our parks and recreation in Saginaw. Their efforts are enjoyed and appreciated by those who live and play in Saginaw. The Saginaw Land Basin Conservatory has passive outdoor recreation projects in Saginaw planned for the riverfront near Genesee and Niagara Street. They will replace an unused parking lot with a public green space that will include native landscapes and amenities for the public and the students from nearby Sassa High School to enjoy. Their second project includes zoo trails for nature play and for outdoor classrooms on property adjacent to the Children's Zoo at Celebration Square. The conservatory is also a partner in reclaiming urban land through pollinator plots, using vacant land for planting of native wildflowers and grasses for the benefit of pollinator species such as butterflies and honeybees, which will bring nature and beauty to our neighborhoods. Economic growth and development, including the building of housing and businesses through partnerships, governmental cooperation, and teamwork is evident. In the past 5 years, the city of Saginaw has seen over $100 million in new investments. Again, the projects are too numerous to mention them all, so here are just a few of the investments. They include the Bancroft Eddy at $7 million, CMU Medical College, $20 million, Riverview Brownstones on Hamilton, $6 million, Delta College's Saginaw Center, $12 million, and the SVRC investment for the SVRC Marketplace in the amount of $19 million. These investments create jobs, such as in 2015 when General Motors invested $50 million in their plant to retain 68 jobs, and when AT&T invested $1 million and relocated 230 employees to downtown Saginaw. Again, large and small, these are only some of the investments made in Saginaw. There are too many to name in the short time I am allowed this morning. Each one is a building block for Saginaw, connecting and constructing a great city. This is all great news, however, there is more to be done. City leadership has heard the concerns of key stakeholders in our community. We continue to recognize that there are segments of our population that are facing great challenges, and there is much to be done to provide services to meet their needs. These challenges and problems include poverty, unemployment, education, and health resources for the underserved in Saginaw. These problems and others, including diversity in the workforce of our community, must be addressed. The city will partner with agencies and organizations to connect the service providers already in place, influence change, and work together to improve the circumstances and quality of life for these residents. Our city manager, Tim Morales, through his leadership, has improved the financial stability of the city. Tim and his team of department heads have been able to improve the city's financial position by proactively managing our expenses and budget. We have been able to grow our general fund balance from a low of $270,000 in 2013 to $2.5 million at the completion of this fiscal year 2016. Now, the general fund balance is like the city's emergency bank account. It's a cushion. In 2013, our savings would have supported only 3 days of operation. Today, we are in a more secure position with a fund balance that would support 30 days of operation. Although this is a significant improvement, our goal is to have 10% of the budgeted general fund expenditures in the approximate amount of $3.2 million. Saginaw has been able to make a major impact on blight elimination through huge investments from city, state, and federal resources. Saginaw is now in a position to concentrate on revitalization of our neighborhoods and community. These funds and initiatives have served to improve the look of vacant properties and helped with their maintenance. City neighborhoods now have community gardens and added play space for children. The rehabilitation of properties has also allowed adjacent property owners to expand their property. And finally, blight elimination has contributed to the reduction in crime in Saginaw. We will continue to collaborate with our many partners, including the Saginaw County Land Bank, MISHDA, and our neighborhood associations to start building Saginaw for future generations. Our Department of Public Works has been very busy also. We are building bridges with our community stakeholders through teamwork, partnership, and collaboration to build relationships and alliances for the good of the community as a whole. And our Department of Public Works has been very busy with city bridges and their maintenance. Critical repairs were completed on the Court Street, Holland Avenue, and the Center Street bridges. City streets have also seen improvement and investment. In the past year, $4.3 million was invested in city streets, improving 3 miles of streets and water and sewer infrastructure. These projects include Federal, Franklin, and Baum Streets, North Hamilton and Mason Streets, Warren Avenue, and Lapeer Street. We continue to share good news about public safety. The Saginaw Police Department has reported that Part 1 crimes in Saginaw is down again this year by 8%. In 2016, the Saginaw Police Department increased collaboration with other agencies to make our city safe by working in the schools and increasing the school prevention program. Other initiatives include continued diversification of the new hires for the department, increased use of body cameras to build trust with our citizens, hiring a victims advocate through grant funding for the department, and working with the Saginaw County Sheriff's Department on a Hamilton Street substation. The Saginaw Police Department has strengthened our partnership and teamwork with the Michigan State Police, Saginaw County Sheriff's Department, Saginaw County Prosecutor's Office, the Michigan Department of Corrections, the FBI, the Secret Service, Saginaw County Central Dispatch, and Saginaw County Mental Health, and other police agencies in Saginaw County to better serve the citizens of Saginaw. This partnership has helped reduce crime overall. The Saginaw Fire Department has implemented several technological improvements. They are using a new data management system for communications efficiencies in emergency responses. They continue to provide in-house training to our new hires in addition to other Saginaw County fire departments, resulting in better trained department at reduced costs. This past year, the Saginaw Fire Department was awarded a FEMA grant to purchase the Jaws of Life equipment. The Saginaw Fire Department continues to collaborate with neighboring fire departments and first responder organizations. They continue to hold joint training sessions with Buena Vista and Saginaw Township Fire Departments. They are part of the Homeland Security Region 3 Regional Response Team, and the Saginaw Fire Department has formed a relationship with the Michigan State Police Fire Investigation Unit. The Saginaw Fire Department is active in community relations with area youth and our schools. They offer CPR and AED training, as well as provide the installation of smoke alarms through a partnership with the American Red Cross. I cannot talk about public safety without acknowledging some of the challenges we face in the future. Saginaw cannot continue to rely on the state of Michigan for police patrol officers, and we know that the federal SAFER grant funding for our firefighters will end also. We must work to provide the best possible service levels with the resources that we have available. In regards to our utilities and infrastructure, the city owns and operates both our water treatment and a wastewater treatment plant. In water treatment, the primary focus has been on assessing future treatment options. We have also kept up to date on anticipated regulatory changes, and we are currently assessing treatment options and developing a long-term plan. In addition, we have continued with completion of capital improvement projects to the plant and 2 of our water pumping stations. We have also secured funding for a transmission project and upgrades to our raw water pumping stations that will be the first phase of increasing our reliability of our raw water source from Lake Huron. In wastewater treatment, the primary focus has been on asset management. We are developing a program that addresses managing all sewer assets on a long-term basis. Our Department of Human Resources negotiated a health care settlement with city retirees that has reduced the number of health care plans from 20 down to 4. This action will create sufficient savings with reduced administrative and claim expenses and allow us to pay down our unfunded health care liability. In addition, the HR department has successfully negotiated and settled all 7 collective bargaining agreements with the city labor unions. The city must increase economic development to fund services. And this is done by instilling confidence. The City of Saginaw is working today for a better tomorrow, ready and willing to assist our partners and our community stakeholders in growing Saginaw. Saginaw is working with the Michigan Economic Development Corporation and pursuing a redevelopment-ready community certification. We are also investing in placemaking and collaborating with the Michigan Municipal League. We partner with Saginaw Future Incorporated for their economic development expertise and assistance. The city is committed to promoting business opportunities through tax abatements and through the Saginaw Economic Development Corporation financial assistance. The next steps for the city of Saginaw: on January 21st, the City Council held a strategic planning session to set the goals for the city of Saginaw for the next 5 years. The top priorities will include economic development of the urban core, public safety and fire service, the arts, culture, and recreation, neighborhood revitalization, and utility infrastructure. At the end of our strategic planning session, we came together and created a vision for the city as follows. We envisioned the Saginaw Riverfront as an entertainment district and event venue where our citizens enjoy the effects of placemaking. We plan to attract more small business development and diversify our economy through strong cultural collaborations and private and public ventures. In particular, we will place strong focus on improvements to the Central Park area, particularly the Ojibwe Island, and serving the underserved. It's all coming together. I started by saying that I would speak about city operations, exciting happenings in the city, and the future plans for growth and development. In closing, I recognize that all of you are stakeholders in Saginaw, and that you are more than aware of our great changes and growth. To the others, I say, if you haven't been to Saginaw lately, then you really don't know Saginaw. I leave you with these final remarks. Saginaw is open for business. Come on in. We're awesome. Thank you and God bless.